This is Underground Opera. Hey, everybody, fiends, friends, and I do say fiends because we are fiends of Underground Opera, because there is a discussion group, Fiends of Undergroundopolis. I always try to get people to join it. So far, we've only had just a couple of spammers get in there and try to tell you that some celebrity died, but we get those out of there quick. And when I figure out how to make that group not public, well, I probably think I'll be able to eliminate it altogether. Tonight's going to be a good one. I'll just make a couple little local announcements here, or actually just one. I'm just going to talk about Undergroundopolis presents The Ruckus, August 17th, 21st in Germantown, 1481 South Shelby Street, Louisville, Kentucky. The Ruckus Undergroundopolis presents The Ruckus with Kenny Moon and Ground Control and my buddy Dave Wilson. Dave Wilson is he was in a band called Powerglide. It was pretty popular there for a while in Louisville. And Kenny Moon and them are just growing. They're growing like weeds. They're doing really well in the music scene here in Louisville, and that's hard to do in Louisville. It's a tough music scene to get into. Believe that. And that's pretty much my only announcement tonight. My guest, I met down there with Jesse and the Hog Brothers, my band Jesse and the Hog Brothers down in Nashville. This guy, he was playing drums for Rusty Nuts, but then he came out front and played some songs, and he's really good. And by the way, Rusty Nuts, I'm the guy that stole your set list, just so everybody knows. And what the hell? We'll just bring him right on. Tell us who you are, where you're from.
Well, I'm back at home right now. I'm in North Carolina, down there near Asheville, between Asheville and Boone, a little town kind of close to Marion, North Carolina.
So, are you playing with Rusty Nuts?
4 hours away from Nashville.
Oh, do you play with Rusty Nuts quite a bit?
Yeah, man, I've become Rusty's drummer on most of the time, and we reconnected about a year ago now, and I met Rusty back in the day. He's a hometown dude, and he had moved to Nashville, and I played with him a couple times back, years ago, and I hadn't seen or heard from him in a long time, and I was out in Nashville hanging out, and he hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, I'm living out here now. Let's hang out." So we started, going to shows and stuff like that. And eventually he said, let's just get it back together, and started producing a record for me. And we're getting ready to do one of his records. We're getting ready to do a new one for him. And which I'm excited, because I think he's been out of it for too long. He needs to get back in there. And so we got all sorts of ideas we're going to cook up and things we're going to play with. And what's fun is the artwork for me. So, I like when we take pictures of Burt Reynolds from Playgirl, and crop his face on there,
What is your latest single? Is that Ballad of the Freebird?
Ballad of the Freebird, yeah. Then that's the new single just come out. That's the first one off the record, produced by Rusty Nuts. That's my debut album. Yeah, I started playing drums in Nashville with a girl named Chelsea Love, and I still play with her all the time. And so whenever I play with Chelsea Love and Rusty Nuts, I got my hands in all sorts of stuff, But this new record we're about to put out is really, really cool, man. And it's got a lot of great players on it, and they're good people. And we're kind of waging guerrilla warfare on the music business, is what it feels like. I'm up here in North Carolina, and I just, I drive back and forth and just work for, however many days or whatever, getting shit done, and I come back home and, keep it going, But
what's the story?
Yeah, I just did the music video. I just got the story behind it.
Yeah.
Well, that song is actually probably about 6 or 7 years old now, and it's from back here in the hometown. There's all sorts of people that we grew up playing music and stuff together, and I'm still real good friends with a buddy of mine from back in the day. And back in church when we were 12 or 13, and we're still real good friends. And we wrote the song while we were jamming. He had these lyrics written down on a sheet of paper and was jamming it, and I took the lyrics back home and kind of reworked them and recorded a demo of it. And I've sat on it for years. When Rusty was like, "Well, let's do this record," my buddy that helped me write the song had actually got lymphoma and a rare form of lymphoma. So I wanted to put that song on the record in case anybody wanted to help somebody out that needed some help with some medical costs and stuff like that. He's got 2 little kids, he wasn't able to work like normal while he had that lymphoma. So, we signed him up for BMI, and I'll give him a royalty cut of the song. And then actually going out to Nashville, I'd become real good friends with a buddy named Dalton Horseman, and we had played together in Chelsea Lovett's band. And whenever I was recording the song, I was like, well, it'd be really cool to get Dalton in here. And I was like, well, why not try to get Dalton's band? And we tried. I actually hit the drummer up originally to see if he would come over. Something happened with scheduling or something. But Dalton and Teddy was still able to come over. And I said, you know what, I worked a deal with them. And we said, well, how about we just do a featuring thing, which kind of just help each other out. It's kind of like, I look at it as why not have a cinematic universe or some type of universe of country music, kind of like they do in comic books and movies and stuff like that, where there's all these different artists, but maybe they're in different timelines or different planets or something, might as well be, all these different characters, So I think it's cool. It's, I just wanted to help a buddy of mine out, a friend, a dear friend of mine. And he's too young to have cancer. I mean, he's a couple of years older than me, 30, he's like 32, and you hate to see, your friends go through that. So I just wanted to help somebody. And so I kept that song, and we got the music video done. I got it back today. We're going to put that up in a couple of weeks. And I've got another single coming out soon in the next couple of weeks. And then the whole release is coming out. So just be on the lookout. I also just put a bunch of old music up from back in the day when I was back here recording little demos in my parents' tool shed with the little Windows 98 and a Yamaha mixer, that one right there actually. And that was back in 2015. And they've been on Bandcamp, and we've got kind of a little cult following on Bandcamp. And I was like, well, I'll just put it on Spotify and YouTube and, let a whole new group of people check it out. And that's called Kinfolk. And one song is Good Wind, and the other is Possum Jaw, and another one called 84 Cents. And there's a lot more of that stuff coming while I got this new stuff coming out. And so yeah, I'm on there. I'm just trying to stay busy, And
what is Tribe of Horsemen? That's your buddy's name?
Yeah, Dalton Horseman.
So that's where Tribe of Horsemen, something. Is that where that came from?
Yeah, Tribe of Horsemen they're a phenomenal rock band out in Nashville, in the kind of the psych rock scene, or just the rock scene period. But they do like some psych stuff and they're like Zeppelin on them acid, man. It's they balls the wall. They're so damn good and tight. They do. But yeah, they're just real good friends of mine, man. They're all sweet people. Everybody's been on this record has been people that were just cool enough to show up and do it. I asked a lot of people, and they were too cool for school. I didn't offer them enough, or I wasn't high profile enough, or whatever. Whatever. Fuck them.
Well, and I'm not saying this about the whole Nashville scene, but there are the stuck up people in Nashville scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's to be expected. I mean, if you live out there and you're around it all the time, I've been going out there for 4 or 5 years, and I go out there all the time. I go out there because I want to get out of this small shithole I'm in, and then go somewhere different, and then I get out there and I miss home, you know. So, but if you're out there in it all the time, I can just see why you get bitter and you can kind of get angry if things aren't going your way. You know, if I was out there, if I moved out there and I only had a gig every 6 or 7 weeks like it is now, you know, I might as well just stay out here. You know, I ain't gonna go out there and waste my money, you know, with
Right.
money I don't have. You know, it's not like I have anybody bankrolling this operation. I was a prison guard for 5 years, and I was getting more and more gigs and going out to Nashville quite a bit. And I quit my job as a prison guard, and I've been living hand to mouth, doing construction jobs and driving ride share and whatever the hell I can do to make some fucking money to eat. And it's been a grind, man. I ain't stopped in 2 years. You know, it's a fucking grind, but it's all right. I was in the prison. I was unhappy doing that, you know, and I was starting to drink too much and forming a couple other bad habits, you know, and
Yep, I know.
yeah, and just
I don't
a
know
lot
about
of,
your experience,
yeah,
but I know about my own experience of picking up bad habits over the years and
yeah.
and quitting them.
What's your favorite one?
Yeah, I was always a heavy drinker, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah,
At least not today. But I don't wave an AA flag or anything like that, man. If I decide I want to have a drink, like when we went up to Buffalo, I partied there back in May. But before that, it'd been months. I think it'd been 5 months.
nice. Well, you probably clear-headed. You know, you can get more shit done. And
Yeah,
when I was drinking, I was just mad all the time. You know, and I was really probably said some shit to people that I don't meet. If there's anybody ever watching this and I ever said anything to you and I was hammered and it was, you know, out of line, I'm sorry. I don't get loaded like that anymore, except on never mind. On some blow. I like to do some blow every once in a while, but you know, I'm just kidding. I don't do that anymore. Hookers and blow, man. No, that's the rock star life.
yep.
I wish people actually knew how it was, man. You actually fucking sitting back in an empty room behind the stage, wishing you had a fucking ham sandwich, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's not what people think it is, but it's what it is.
No, it is what it is, you know.
It is what it is. Like, man, isn't somebody's going to bring us a deli tray or something?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the highlight of it. That's really the highlight of it is the free deli tray. You know, everybody thinks it's all the drugs you can do and all the parties and sex and anything you can handle in there. You know, there's nothing. I tell people if I was doing it to get rich or meet women, I'd have been doing it a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Half the ones you meet, most of them you meet are damn crazy and hell anyway. They ain't got no damn sense. So.
Well, when we went to Buffalo, that was the first place that anybody ever invited us to an after party. That's why I did party at Buffalo was like the biggest small town ever. Buffalo was cool. Like everybody's just welcoming.
It's Buffalo, yeah.
It was really nice, and of course it was just in May, and there wasn't 6 feet of snow on the ground or anything like that. Man, they get it bad there.
Yeah, man, I've got some friends that are from there. I've never actually been up there. I'd love to go up there. The only furthest north I've ever been is Pennsylvania. And, no, not Pennsylvania, West Virginia, which is right near Pennsylvania. And then I've been to Indianapolis and played there. But I've not got to New York yet. I'd like to go to those just to see it, but you know.
Aren't you coming to Indianapolis soon?
Man, I can't hear hardly a word you're saying. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Hold on. Give it a second. And then aren't you coming to Indianapolis?
Yeah, we're trying to get up there in September. I've been up there once a couple months ago, and we're trying to get back up there. And I got a buddy up there named Wayne Pennington that me and Rusty tour with and work with. And he's on the label we're trying to start up too, you know. And so we all kind of get on package shows, and that's Wayne Pennington and the Floor Valley. There's some cool dudes, and so that's my Indianapolis hookup, and we just go up there and have a good time. The people up there are so kind to me, and I'm so thankful I got those connections, man. They just some good people, and they love live music, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Indianapolis is fun. It's a fun city. I grew up close to it. Well, since it is my show, I'm going to ask about a certain song called Grace Potter's Legs.
Oh, okay.
What's the story behind that? Because that's a pretty great song.
Well, Grace Potter's Legs is a heartbreak song. It's it's kind of like falling in love with things, you know, that'll kill you, you know, and our vices, you know, we all have our vices, and we just love things that we know are bad for us, and I think that relationships and things like that, you know, it's just a vicious cycle. You know, it's kind of a vicious cycle, and so Grace Potter's Legs is kind of like a analogy maybe, or you know, or something like that. You know, it's more of giving the, you know, I don't know if that's that. I guess that's it right there. Kind of making sense of the heartache and pain. You know, it's something we love. Everybody loves Grace Potter's Legs.
Yeah.
You know, but if you go trying to follow her around or something, they might, you know, frown upon that. You know. I don't know.
Great.
It's more of a Grace Potter's Legs was a way to change the name of somebody else in a way, you know, and it wasn't necessarily somebody in particular. It was just, you know, a beautiful women in general, you know, or you know, the person that you love or want to love in general, you know. It wasn't it's not like, I didn't mean any disrespect when I wrote the song at all, you know. I actually tried to hit her management up. I sent them like I sent them 3 different messages explaining the whole thing, and I could read that. I could read you what I sent to her, and I actually had typed out this whole thing that I'd sent them, and it was kind of like what I just tried to say there, but absolutely failed. But they never did hit me up. And after the 3rd or 4th message, I just decided to put it out because it was the first thing I put out, and it was just some throwaway recordings. They were just acoustic or whatever, you know, just to get the Spotify set up and everything. And whenever they didn't hit me back up, they were too cool to hit me back up. So, you know,
dude, it's a good song.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it.
There will be a link. There will be a link to that song in the description.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get. I actually went into a studio years ago, and it's been a nightmare trying to get the stuff. But now, if I can get the take, I have a version of that song with the band called the Sons of Ralph, Don and Marty Lewis, and they're real good friends of mine. And I'm trying to get that out. That'll be the first single off the next record if I can get that. So that's what I'm going for next. And it's a full band. It's got like some crazy fiddles and mandolins and drums and stuff on it. You know, crazy electric guitars.
So. All right, man. We are running out of time here. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
Indeed, I appreciate you having me on here, and it's good to see you again. And hopefully we can hang out sometime. I just can't thank you enough, and hopefully everybody, you know, checks me out. And the Ballad of the Freebird, like I said, if you want to help somebody out that's got some medical bills, you stream that song, you know, it goes directly into somebody's, you know, pocket. So thank you so much, and appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Rob, and good luck with everything.
Well, man, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, hit the follow or any wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'm your host, Rob Lyon, signing off.
Peace out. Thanks.